Prompt engineering is only the beginning. Modern AI agents need the right context, controlled tools, and intelligent execution loops.
If you try to build a complex AI system using nothing but a clever prompt, you are hanging a boulder from a single thread. Eventually, the weight of real work is going to snap it. To get an AI to actually do the heavy lifting, like pulling a GitHub issue, writing the code to fix it, and submitting a pull request, we have to look at how these systems are actually structured. The first layer is prompt engineering. At this level, you are defining the baseline instructions and setting the persona constraints for the model. A generic request to fix the bug is prone to failure. A stronger prompt assigns a specific role, like a senior Python engineer, and enforces clear rules for the code it outputs. But instructions are just the starting point. To complete a task autonomously, the agent needs to manage its own memory, interact with a terminal, and iterate until the code passes. That requires 3 additional layers of engineering. The second layer is context engineering. If you provide an AI with an entire repository at once, the context window fills with irrelevant noise. The model loses focus, which often leads to hallucinations and errors. This is known as context rot. Context engineering is the practice of curating exactly what information the model sees for each specific step of the task. In this retrieval pipeline, we take a chaotic cluster of repository files and funnel them down to just the issue ticket, 3 relevant files, and the error log. These drop into a horizontal meter, our token budget, preventing the context window from overloading. By managing what the agent is allowed to read, you transform it from an overwhelmed generator into an informed problem solver. Since language models are text generators, they cannot natively execute actions on a server. They require a harness, a runtime environment that provides the agent with the digital hands needed to act. For our coding agent, the harness provides a specific toolset, a bash terminal to run commands, and file write access to apply changes. Because these tools allow the agent to interact with your environment, the harness is built on the principle of least privilege. You have to define exactly what the agent can and cannot touch. Within this safe sandbox, the agent interacts freely with test server icons to verify its work. But when it tries to reach the production database, it is blocked by a red barrier that prevents it from causing catastrophic data loss. A robust harness is the primary defense system that keeps an autonomous agent within its intended operational boundaries. Standard chat interfaces rely on single responses, but software engineering is iterative. Loop engineering is the mechanism that allows the agent to try a solution, observe the result, and try again if it fails. In this circular workflow, the agent applies a code fix and runs a test. If it fails, the error feeds back into the context window for a retry. To prevent infinite loops, an iteration counter hits a red maximum limit, dropping a gate. Without these loops, the developer has to manually guide every step. With them, the system can push through errors until the task is complete. Now we can combine these 4 layers into a single integrated system design. The process starts when a GitHub issue enters the agent orchestrator. It pulls data from the context manager, feeding it down to the central LLM. The model executes tools through the harness, all wrapped in an iterative loop until the goal is met. Structuring an agent this way allows it to handle the multi-step nature of coding tasks that a single static prompt cannot resolve on its own. To summarize, the prompt provides the instructions, and the context manages the information the agent is allowed to process. The harness establishes the agent's capabilities, and the loop drives the iteration until the task succeeds. These 4 pillars provide the structural framework you will need to understand as you move from simple chatbots to designing autonomous coding systems. If you want to see these layers implemented in code, subscribe to the channel and comment below to let us know which part of the stack we should build next. Shifting your focus from writing better prompts to designing better systems is what allows you to build agents that can finish the work you assign them.
Welcome back to Naveen Tech Hub. Today, we're going way beyond basic chat to break down the complete 4-layer architecture of production AI agents. If you've been building AI apps lately, you've probably realized that just throwing a clever instruction at a large language model, well, it doesn't guarantee a reliable system at all. So we're going to explore exactly why prompt engineering is literally just the first layer and how modern enterprise agents actually rely on context, harness, and loop engineering to get real work done.
Okay, let's dive right in. Ask yourself, Why does a coding agent tasked with fixing a GitHub issue need so much more than just a clever set of instructions to actually merge a working pull request? Well, think about a normal chatbot. It answers once you ask a question, gives you a response, and then it just waits. But real work doesn't happen like that, right? Real work has steps, it has errors, it needs checking and constant correction. If our agent only has a prompt, it's basically just guessing. And I can tell you for sure, guessing in a production environment is exactly where AI systems become downright dangerous.
So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover 1. Prompt engineering for instructions. 2. Context engineering for information. 3. Harness engineering for capabilities. 4. Loop engineering for iteration. Then we'll look at the layered stack and wrap up with some architecture and interview tips.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Prompt Engineering, or how we handle instructions.
We always start at the absolute foundation. Prompt engineering controls the rules, roles, and constraints of our model. It's really all about how we word the message for a single model call. You can think of the prompt as the raw instruction manual. It's absolutely essential, yes, but it is completely stateless. It's entirely unaware of the actual environment your code lives in. It really just asks, how do I word this instruction to get a single good response? While a great system prompt defines the agent's identity and constraints, it doesn't actually hand the agent the code base or tell it what happened 3 steps ago.
Take a look at the difference between a naive request and a production-grade prompt. Saying fix this code is super vague, right? It relies entirely on the model's assumptions. But the second option, it gives our coding agent a highly specific persona and a crystal clear goal for the GitHub issue. However, here's the catch. No matter how perfectly we engineer this text, if the model doesn't know which files are broken or what the error logs actually say, it's just going to hallucinate. And that brings us straight to our next layer.
Moving on to Section 2, Context Engineering, which is all about information.
To build our agent's awareness of the real world, we absolutely need context engineering. If prompt engineering is about the wording, context engineering is about the wiring. The crucial point here is that context engineering manages the entire context window, which on modern models can literally be hundreds of thousands of tokens. But as context grows, models suffer from something called context rot, where their ability to accurately recall info just drops. A smart context pipeline fights this. It pulls in only the specific codebase files, the relevant Git history, and the exact error logs needed for the current step. That keeps the signal-to-noise ratio incredibly high.
For our AI coding agent, this means dynamically retrieving the repository, filtering out all the irrelevant folders, ranking the most important files, compressing the conversation history, and only then sending the high-signal data to the model. We call this just-in-time context. We are definitely not just dumping the entire repository into the prompt. Instead, it's like sending a librarian who fetches exactly what the model needs to know right at this exact moment. Now for Section 3, Harness Engineering, diving into capabilities. Next up is harness engineering. This is the system that gives our model the actual hands to do the work. It answers a huge question. What code runs the loop, the tools, and the verification reliably? Look, if the prompt is the brain and context is the memory, the harness is the physical body. A model by itself is just a text generator, right? The harness is what actually manages function schemas, parses the model's responses, and securely runs the code. As industry leaders often point out, an agent equals the model plus the harness. It's literally every piece of code, configuration, and execution logic that isn't the model itself.
This is super interesting. Notice how the orchestrator manages different execution pools, acting as a secure boundary. In an advanced architecture, the harness isolates workloads. Let's say our coding agent needs to run a SQL query to check a database, or maybe execute a bash script to run unit tests. The harness provisions dedicated, isolated environments so these tools execute safely. No interfering with each other, and definitely no compromising the host system.
When you're in production, you absolutely must use a harness to enforce least privilege. Think about it. A malicious repository configuration could try to hijack your agent to execute unauthorized remote code. Your harness acts as the strict permission system here. It ensures the agent operates in a safe sandbox, respects identity and access management roles, requires a human-in-the-loop approval for destructive actions, and keeps an audit log of every single tool it calls. It's a real lifesaver.
All right, Section 4, Loop Engineering, time for iteration.
Finally, let's talk about loop engineering. This is what makes our system truly autonomous. This is exactly where we upgrade from a basic single-turn chatbot into an asynchronous worker. We use design patterns like the Ralph loop,
which iterates continuously based on external feedback. Instead of relying on the model to just blindly guess if it wrote good code, a proper loop feeds that code to a compiler or a test suite. The loop takes that deterministic, real-world feedback and feeds it right back to the model, basically saying, hey, try again until the tests actually pass.
Let's see this workflow in action. The agent inspects the issue, modifies the code, and runs a test. When the test fails, it doesn't just give up. It observes the specific error log, reasons about what went wrong, retries the fix, and verifies it again. It repeats this cycle entirely on its own until the pull request is perfectly ready. It is a complete plan, act, observe, verify cycle. Pretty amazing, right?
But, and this is a big but, autonomy can be incredibly dangerous if left unchecked. You must include circuit breakers and stopping controls here. Otherwise, an unguided agent will burn through thousands of dollars in token costs in an infinite reflection loop without ever making any progress. You need hard ceilings, maximum iterations, strict timeout thresholds, token cost budgets, and repeated failure detectors that stop the loop and alert a human if the agent just gets stuck making the same error over and over again.
Let's bring it all together in Section 5, the layered stack.
So let's tie these all together to see the full picture. Understanding this is exactly what separates a weekend prototype from a real production system. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this cheat sheet. It perfectly summarizes the stack. The prompt determines the instructions, what it does. The context is the information, what it knows. The harness dictates the capabilities, what it can physically touch. And the loop governs the iteration, how long and in what manner it works autonomously.
Finally, Section 6, Architecture and Interview Tips. Let's look at how this all runs in a live environment. In this complete end-to-end flow, user requests hit an orchestrator. That orchestrator relies on memory and vector databases to handle the context engineering. It applies guardrails and isolated engine pools through harness engineering, and it sequences the entire workflow through loop engineering. All of these moving pieces wrap around the core large language model to make it a robust, secure engine.
Now, if you get asked about agent design in a system design interview, watch out for these common novice mistakes. Interviewers are looking for red flags. Be sure to highlight why dumping an entire code base into a single giant prompt causes context rot. Explain the severe dangers of unrestricted tool access without a secure harness, and really emphasize why running infinite loops without strict token budgets or external validation is just a recipe for disaster. Show them you understand the full stack, not just the basics.
So here's the big question for you. How will you engineer the context, harness, and loop for your next autonomous agent? Start thinking way beyond just the prompt. Think about how you'll build the information pipelines, the execution boundaries, and the iteration cycles to make your AI agents truly autonomous and reliable. Don't forget to hit subscribe right here on Naveen Tech Hub for more practical deep dives into production AI systems. See you in the next explainer.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Naveen Tech Hub for practical AI.